Hey guys, before we start the podcast, I just wanted to do something pretty serious, which we don't do here normally, especially on such a week that was. But over the weekend, someone went missing, and I just want to raise some awareness, and hopefully we can find them. It was the Swannies. So if you find them anywhere in Melbourne, we last saw them in New South Wales, please reach out to the police or maybe the show, and we can see if we can locate them and obviously do the right thing and send them back to New South Wales. They might still be there. Who knows? But absolute disaster from them on the weekend. Up the Lions!
Hey guys, welcome to the Dan Does Footy podcast. You can find more of Dan Does Footy on the website, Spotify, YouTube and social media. Lids off. See ya.
There was heaps of sick kids, and I was like, where are they? Kick him harder. Kick him all harder. Punch him in the face. I'm bloody horizontally challenged, if you get what I mean. Boner. Tough crowd today. Should we say this is the line? If you don't hear the next bit, it's over the line? Okay, so if you don't hear the next bit, I've got over the line. Who's just walked past Punt Road? It dips him. Hey, what a weekend of football. Ollie, my friend, all a blur, isn't it?
Was there football on?
I'm still recovering from all the beers that we had. Jeez, we destroyed some beers. My head is just pounding. Mm-hmm. It's like I'm the Sydney Swans at the moment, just getting smoked.
I reckon you've got an ice pack underneath that bucket hat.
That's why it's on.
Yeah.
That's why it's on. Mate, how's your weekend? How's your grand final weekend?
It was so much fun.
It was big for you, wasn't it?
Yeah. I mean, I watched about 20 minutes of the game.
Yeah.
But it was just so much fun. Party was unbelievable.
Oh.
We'll get to it obviously, but just a awesome turnout. Weather was unbelievable. It was the perfect start.
Couldn't ask for a better weekend for football.
No.
I mean, the football could have been better.
We could have asked for better football.
Better
on the
football
weekend,
could have been a lot better.
Yes.
But you're right, the weather, the mood, I thought the mood were good.
Mood was good.
Mood was great. Our party was great. Thanks everyone who came. Mm-hmm. Oh, geez, we sent it up there. Early start. I mean, when I got handed a beer at 8 a.m, I thought, oh, that's a bit grim. Wait till 9 at least. But the 10 a.m. start was good. Just a great party on there. The Prince that had us, all the sponsors. Obviously, we had stuff there. We had Gatorade, Moondog, Sportsbet. All the brands were there that put on a great show. Unbelievable.
I got lots of presents.
You did. Your PO box was there.
Yeah, so
what'd you get?
I got a Brownlow medal. It's like a souvenir merchandise one. Ross Smith, 1967 St Kilda legend, with a little signed card from him in there. It's like ridiculous.
Oh wow, was it actually legit or?
No, it's one of those ones where it was a replica Brownlow, but
Yeah.
then the signature was legit.
Yeah.
A Slytherin scarf.
You.
I did get, how good's this? Chopsticks with a little dog on the top.
I got those as well.
Yeah.
They were great.
So that's beautiful.
Yeah.
And then there were these forms to fill out, and people dropped them in.
That scares me. Is that feedback?
There's some feedback. Would you like me to go through a couple of them?
I hate constructive criticism or any room for improvement.
So-
This is just like my end of season reviews.
Well, there is a questionnaire.
Okay.
We'll leave a questionnaire out, but the suggested improvements. Someone said just keep barking at the beers,
Yep.
big dogs.
Fair enough.
More swans glazing.
Oh, not for a good start then today.
Ooh, got some feedback for you. Okay, I won't read that one. That's just something about fuck Harry Potter.
Okay, yep.
But love the work, boys.
Like that one.
Been the pick me up all year. Love that. Thanks for a great day. Go Lions.
Yeah.
More Bailey Smith / interns.
True.
I reckon we could do that.
And his hog.
Okay, that one is actually just advice on the actual party itself, so we will leave that one out. That's nice. Good one to end on. More Dan, less Ollie. Great.
That's
so
great.
Thanks
We
for
love
everyone.
that one.
Yeah, no, that's
good feedback. No, seriously, thanks everyone for coming. It was unbelievable that day. Then, so everyone who came that day, just amazing. You know, people, the fans who were there, and all the turnout. And then 2 days before, maybe the night before, it's all blur. We did the Carlton Draft live show, our first ever live pod.
Yeah, how did you think that went?
Whoa. For those who were there, it got pretty loose. Mm-hmm. It got wild. I think that's what we are now. I think I was a bit nervous going into it. You and I both were. What do we do? Is it going to be like a normal podcast setup? Are we going to talk shit? Like we've got to fill an hour and a half of stuff. And I walked away going, wow. Like that was unreal. The crowd was electric.
Good one not to film. It was a real, you had to be there
Yeah.
moment.
Yeah.
I think the actual episode was probably fine, or like the, but then the Q&A
It got a bit rogue.
got rogue, didn't
Yeah,
it?
we did 45 minutes of Q&A and I was roaming.
Yeah.
And we got a bit wild there. So you're right. Glad there was no cameras there because that was more of an in-house venue. Let's just keep it in-house venue kind of stuff. It was great though. I loved it. I think that's how I go. When we do live shows next year, we're going to bring some absolute heat.
Yeah, but it'll be like it's like a music festival in the 80s.
It is.
It's no phones.
No.
It's
still
just-
got BTV to go.
Well, that will be.
That will be next level.
And how did you think? I was concerned. You ran through the running order really quickly. I don't know if you noticed.
Ran through it ultra quickly.
It was sort of about 25 minutes in that we went, ooh.
Yeah, I had to fill it out. But got there in the end.
Got there in the end. It
Thanks
was
to
great.
Carlton Draft. That was,
Yeah.
And I think before we get into what happened on the weekend, the grand final and going through that, thanks to everyone like this year.
Yeah.
It's just been a crazy year for you and I and how big this thing has gotten, how it's grown. And it's only because of everyone that listens and supports us. And without you guys, really, we can't do this. It's just you and me talking to each other. So we are so happy that we get to do this, a couple of days a week and going forward. I'm sure we'll try and do a couple more days a week next year, whatever that looks like in terms of how we're going to do it, because we do have big plans for next season. But thanks to everyone who listens on the socials, on the YouTube, whether it's for 5 minutes, whether it's for the whole episode. We are, again, so grateful. And I think that we are building something massive here as a community. It is Dan Does Footy, but it is all of us doing football. And the way that we kind of approach football is in a light, hard way, and we get a little bit serious now and then, but we really wanted to break the mold of what sports media is in this country. And I think that hopefully we're doing a good job. It seems like the feedback we got over the weekend is that we are doing that, and we do that because we wanted to do it first of all, but we hope that, we do it for you as well. So thank you.
Absolutely. And whether or not you agree with the calls we make, you probably hate the Harry Potter and the dancing comments from me, but the community that was built is really obvious.
It's massive. Yeah, it's
and we saw that at the party. We saw it at Carlton Draft. The people that have, tracked the inside jokes and just they get it. And it's been pretty awesome.
Great. 1 year in, we got some big stuff coming.
The only thing I would say in the Q&A, if you're going to ask me a question, don't use that as an excuse to then get a photo with you when I'm answering. That's like my one bit of feedback.
Yeah.
But other than that,
That's fair.
it was great.
That's fair. Before we get into a big night for you.
Yeah.
Saints best and fairest. Here we go. Who's going to take home the big one? Who knows? Will there be some eyeballs bleeding from both retinas? For sure. Go through some of the first half of the season. It's a boring count in the first half.
Don't lure me into
That is,
doing
take
it.
the chopsticks with you.
Yeah,
Because
no.
that first half of the count will be an absolute snooze fest. But you are hosting.
Yeah, I thought you were about to lead me into a Andrew Dillon's wife situation.
Well, who doesn't poll well, do
Well,
you
I've
think?
heard that Jack Steele's nowhere near it.
Yes,
No,
yeah.
I've got no idea for this one, but it's going to be pretty cool. So I think there's a couple of MCs, and I've got the kind of roaming job. They'll come down to me, and I'll have a chat with the player and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty excited.
Be
Straight
good.
after this, and just so you know, I mean, this is the sort of thing we should do off air.
Okay.
I'm probably going to only have time to upload the episode.
Yeah, great, fair enough.
So just
Yeah,
letting
good.
you know and
That's
everyone
good.
know
Thank you.
that's where
Yeah,
I'm
that's
at.
fair. Okay, yeah.
Got to pick my tux up.
Yeah.
It's got St Kilda lining.
Well, you want to give him a shout out who you're dressed by?
Yeah, Samuel Diamond.
There you
Samuel
go, got it out the way.
Taylors. Yeah, we didn't get it out of the way. I might even do a separate podcast for him. That's how much I want to talk about him.
Yeah.
But I'm going to look red hot.
Love that. Can't wait.
Nah, I'm excited.
Who does win that? Royal Marshall, we think?
Rowan's a chance. I mean, definitely a chance. Jack Sinclair's always there or thereabouts. Steele probably would have been if he wasn't. He missed a couple of games early on. No, did he? I can't quite remember. I reckon it'd be down to those three.
Yeah.
A Ruffy, maybe Nazire.
Yeah, right.
Like I thought he was really decent.
He's rough. Very rough.
As a
Outside
Ruffy,
chance, yeah.
outside
Okay.
chance. But like I thought he was pretty phenomenal.
Yeah, okay. Well done. Well, we'll be tuning into your socials to see what happens there.
Well, if the Brownlow Medal St Kilda table was anything to go
Oh,
on,
this will be loose, this whole
will
thing. This will be party time.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Saints, they just play different. They don't give a shit about votes, but they give a shit about beers. Where's it at?
Crown.
Oh, yeah. Now we're talking.
Yeah.
Fucking oath. We're going to club. What's it called? What's the club inside that venue?
As if I would know.
You wouldn't know, yeah. Oh, well, hit the casino floor.
Gold class, I think. Is that the club?
Yeah, could be. But the week was about two teams before it wasn't really, when BT dropped an absolute bomb 24 hours out from the game. Just a rogue rumor that he said that something surprising and emotional was going to drop after the grand final. And the rumor mill started spinning into overdrive. We had rumors flying around the left, right, and center. The first one that we had was someone saying AFLX was coming back. That would be horrible if it did, but that got around. Some said BT himself would be retiring, which got a little bit of momentum given the years he's had. I think what BT's done now is he's leaned into being the villain. I think he's leaned into the commentary of his BT done. What's he doing? He's a bit rogue this year. He's, just offbeat a little bit. I think he's really leaned into that now.
Yep, I'd give you that.
Yeah. We also heard, and this developed over time, it seemed like every half an hour we had a new rumour coming out what it could be. We heard that Chris Fagan might be retiring if they'd won the grand final. We heard that John, the horse, Longmire would be leaving Sydney and going to West Coast to coach, which is a bit rogue again. And then we all landed on Big Joe hanging up the boots. Joey, 30 years old, lives in a big oak tree in Byron Bay, doesn't have a TV, and the only shoes he wears are football boots on a Saturday. We thought that he might be hanging up the boots. And didn't expect it, but when it came out, I think we all went, can see it. Can see it. Hates the limelight, hates the media, hates the attention. Fair enough.
Yep, it checks out.
Checks out, definitely.
Yep, ticks the boxes.
Now, apparently the Lions weren't happy with this. And fair enough. 24 hours out from a grand final, their redemption grand final, to have, hey, Joey's going to retire after the game, not ideal for prep. Not ideal, the little seeds planted in the players' heads. I would have been filthy as well.
Okay.
But it got loud. Got loud after the game. It got louder and louder. Then when he kicked his last goal, all the players went to him. You wouldn't have seen it because you know watched 20 minutes of the game. But all the players ran to him and it was like, okay, this thing might be happening. Then we got to the end of the game and nothing happened. So, absolutely nothing.
Yeah. I mean, I'd had a few beers by that point and I was trying to track what was going on. Nothing happened.
We're still waiting for the announcement, BT.
Oh, how awkward.
You said something big was happening and literally nothing happened at all. We're still waiting for the announcement. Don't know. And everyone was asked about it. Hey, is Joey thinking about retiring? And Chris Fagan said, first I've heard of it. He seems happy. He lives in a different state, but there's no drawing comparisons there.
He just won a premiership.
His dad came out and said, seems happy. I think he's fine. The boys were asked. Lockie Neal said, hey, is Joey going to retire? He said, I don't think so. But if he is, I'd gladly talk him out of it and say, let's go back to back. So nothing. We had nothing. Apparently Triple M also distanced themselves from that and said, hey, you can't be just throwing shit out there. You're not the Dan Does Footy podcast.
No, that's it's a very specific area.
You've got some guys in suits up high who are very angry. In fact, you're in a suit all the time. You're proper media. You can't be saying that.
No.
Okay, so we're still waiting.
I mean, nothing's happening, right?
I don't think anything's happening. I think he just felt like saying something. And then he came out and said, no, what happened was I went on Adelaide radio and they wanted something to end with. And I just said, look, something big and emotional was going to happen. And that's all I said. I didn't mean anything by it. Bullshit, BT. You fucked up.
Let's hope that, it would be great if Joe Danaher told him, hey, I'm going to retire.
Yeah.
But he had no intention of doing
and got
so.
Him.
I just think that would be great.
Got him. Big guy, BT. He's got massive hands.
Does he?
I shook his hand once. He almost swallowed my head.
Really? And
they're huge. They're big. I've got quite big hands.
Yeah.
But he's got huge hands.
Farmer's hands.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
They're rough and tough.
Yep.
And they're liars as well. His fingers are liars, his nails are liar, and BT is a liar. And I won't sleep until you get a fucking rumour out of him because it pissed me off.
At least even just make one up.
Just make something up.
Give us something.
He had a mare at 3/4 time. Do you hear the this thing?
Go on.
About BT calling Chris Fagan Dennis Pagan. Yeah, it's very soft, so hopefully.
Actually, that's well saved.
Yep.
Yeah.
Dennis Pagan, will he become the second coach? Like, what was he? Dennis Pagan. Just because it rhymes with Chris Fagan. Just get it right, So BT had a bit of a mare over the grand final week. But the grand final itself, all interstate grand final. First one in 18 years. The city was alive. The football gods blessed us with 22 degrees, sunny. The sun was out. The beers were falling from the sky. And Katy Perry set the tone. $5 million price tag, and she delivered.
Yeah.
She was fantastic. Money well spent. Now, the CGI before or during the broadcast, I didn't see it. Obviously, I was at the game. I couldn't see it.
So they didn't put it on the screen? The big screen?
No, I didn't see the vortex open up. Apparently, a black hole opened up. What were we thinking of that? Was that a bit rogue?
Didn't work for mine in the slightest.
No.
If we had a bit more cashola Super Bowl style, they'd be able to actually recreate that with physical objects.
Yeah.
Or dancers. Or
True.
someone. Or something,
Well, she had the 200 goon sacks running around.
It was beautiful.
That was great, except for the one that popped. You see, that poor chick who had the pop goon sack and still had to perform the show. Good on her. What a trooper. But yeah, I know about the CGI. I was getting feedback saying this thing isn't great.
Nah.
But Tina Arena came out as well.
Yeah.
She was good.
Do you believe?
Do you believe in love? I kissed a girl I did. But overall, A lot of talk saying, hey, maybe Katy Perry won't be the right call. We don't know about her performing in the grand final. Pretty good.
Yeah, no, I rated
she
her.
was
I
great.
thought Cody Simpson was good too.
He was, yeah. He extended the anthem.
There was just a small
little evolution in what he did
break.
there.
And then a lot of people were going, Cody Simpson, get the lyrics right. It's young and free, not one and free. It's actually one and free. Changed it 3 years ago.
Yep.
So just for people out there that
Got ya.
Yeah.
Got ya. But so he ended and I started cheering. But no, he circled back for a second ending. So I've gone earlier. You know the last 10 seconds of the anthem, everyone starts celebrating. I've gone clap. I'm clapping saying this guy's going to wrap it up. He came back for one more. Extended it out a little bit.
The goodbye tour.
I know, legit. But the Sydney fans are still arguing now that maybe a bit of an unfair competitive advantage with Katy Perry performing Raw. Katy Perry performing Raw. Saying that, hold on, this isn't fair. This isn't right. You know, because when the Brisbane boys heard that, they lifted a little bit. It's not fair.
I'm just thinking about that drive-by you just gave BT about Dennis Pagan, but Katy Perry's good.
At least I was in the ballpark.
Yeah, that's true. No, I'm with you there. Look, can we confirm nor deny? Can we look too far into it? I don't know. But I think it set the tone.
It did.
If no big cat-related teams were in it, I'd still want Raw to be the opener.
Yeah. She came in some weird vehicle, didn't she?
The sperm?
Yeah, the sperm.
Yeah.
And her microphone looked like someone saying cock and balls
Yeah. So
as well.
A little bit of imagery there.
Yeah, true. Yep.
And
That's a lot.
great sunnies on.
Speed dealers. She looked quick. Looked real quick. And then some were also saying the Sydney fans are trying to draw anything for the loss, saying that the weather as well was very Queensland-like. So was the whole grand final a bit unfair to Sydney people? That's what they're saying, mate. That's what they're saying. Then we had the grand final sprint.
Yeah.
Before we get into the game, the grand final sprint, Dion Prestia's sprint went exactly how you think his sprint would go. Didn't give one shit about sprinting. Didn't get out of second gear.
It was a sprint.
He was
in
there
inverted
for
commas.
a ticket and a light jog.
Yeah.
And in contract probably said he had to do that as well.
Yeah.
A lot of money riding inside those two hamstrings. We're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars inside each hammy, and he wasn't popping another one.
No.
Not on the biggest stage. And then Bo McCreary, he won it.
Yeah.
I thought it was a dead heat. It looked dead heat.
Bit of a false start from Darcy Wilson too. I don't know if you've seen. So
Did he?
I'll bring that up tonight.
Both
obviously.
quick.
Both very quick.
Yeah, I thought McCreary was quick over like 20 metres. He's quick over 100.
Yeah.
I knew Darcy Wilson would be quick, but both stayed the course
Yeah, he
and came
did.
back. Both very, very quick boys. And then the game started and Brisbane Lions run the league, ladies and gentlemen. We had 100,000 inside the Loud House and breaking their 21-year drought, the Lions beat the absolute shit out of the Sydney Swans Football Club to leave that organisation in tears again. All cylinders were firing for the Sydney Swans. We looked at this thing and said, everyone's in form. They're fresher than the Lions. All signs pointed towards a Sydney win, and then they lay one of the biggest shits in a bed we've ever seen. Again, did it in 2022, decided to lay another one in 2024. And I don't want to ban Sydney from playing in grand finals because I don't want to be that guy, but they've ruined 2 out of the last 3 grand finals. And it's starting to piss me off a little bit. Completed the 4-peat as well. 4 grand final losses in a row. This game was over in 45 minutes. It was just disappointing for neutrals because we wanted a close game. We thought we'd get a close game. Clearly, the 2 best teams were in it. And the first quarter, we had the hallmarks of an instant classic. This thing was close. No defense was being played. They was opening the game up. Both teams came to play. In the second quarter, Sydney just couldn't get a thing going. And Brisbane Lions opened them up all over the field. Watching it live, it was just an absolute masterclass of a game of football for them. They played 4 quarters of football. And who told you this would happen?
Everyone laughed.
Everyone laughed at me. You and Joey sat there and mocked me. I was getting laughed at in the street saying, oh, Brisbane Lions by 6+ goals. Sometimes the vibe is strong. And I told you that was the vibe. I said they'd have a first quarter performance and they'd ride it all the way through for 4 quarters, and they did that. That was so clean. And just by foot, they were so dangerous. Around stoppage, they walked out of stoppages. They controlled the game from start to finish. 158 marks they had. That is stupid.
What would be an average total, do you think?
I think 100 is a lot.
Okay.
158 is absolutely ridiculous. They fully picked them apart. Like, that is... And you'd think at some point the Swans would have said, you know what, let's tighten up on this. Maybe let's stop them chipping around and marking it and doing what they want with it and just let them do it. Let them off the chain around the ground for 4 quarters of football. They had no answers for Brisbane, Sydney. It was crazy to watch.
It was insane, wasn't
it? Was crazy.
10-minute mark of the second quarter.
It was done. It was done.
Yeah.
It was all over. It was the best four-quarter performance I've seen and team performance where everyone played a role that we've seen this year, and they saved it for the last day of the year.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable. Everyone played a role. All final series, they had these patches, Brisbane Lions, where they'd played good football, but not four quarters of football. So you have the Carlton game where they kick the first 10 in a row, and that's a patch of football. Then they have the quarter and a half against the Giants, and then they have that half against Geelong. This was just 4 quarters of brutal football. Just bullied them all over the field. And the game was over when Eric Hipwood kicked that goal and did the Yaka celebration. That's when I think most of us said, okay,
that's done.
If Eric's doing that, because last week he missed his foot.
Yeah.
If he's now doing that, this game's done.
Yeah.
And it was the point where everyone said, okay, we think this is over now.
It's true.
So even at halftime, maybe people thinking Sydney kicked 2, 3, 4, 5 in a row here, there could be a chance.
What was it, about 40 points by halftime?
I reckon it's around 50. Yeah, 40, 50.
Okay.
Yeah. So they would have needed to kick 5 in a row, really. Or in the first 15 minutes of the third quarter to be a chance.
Yep.
We've had to make some impact on the scoreboard. Just couldn't get into it. Couldn't get into it because Kyle Lohman and Archie were just doing whatever they want. They took the piss out of their defenders.
That's the best way to describe it.
They took the literal piss.
Yeah.
They did. They were streaming back to goal, taking marks, 4 goals each. Kyle Lohman kicking 2 in 2 minutes. Everything was going their way. Everything. They were unbelievable. Lockie Neal was running around on one heel. Had 35 touches. Lockie Heel, we were calling him. Lockie No Heel. Lockie better heel in the off-season.
Yeah.
Wearing a moon boot as well during celebration, so his heel was fucked. He heard something snap, he said.
Ooh, good.
In the last
yeah,
quarter.
right. Well, that's
always good.
Yeah, no, you like that, don't you?
Heard something snap. Zorko was hitting whatever targets he wanted. Luke Parker moved to Harris Andrews, didn't work at all.
Nope.
So we thought that move, maybe Harris Andrews would somewhat be taken out of the game with Luke Parker to him. Didn't work.
Just didn't work.
Harris Andrews did whatever he wanted out there. And the Barber's dream, Darcy Fort, stood up. Now, he didn't really have a great game. He didn't dominate. He didn't need to dominate, but neither did Grundy.
It's true. And he should have been licking his lips at this opportunity.
Grundy should have absolutely smoked him, if we're being completely honest. And Darcy Ford didn't let him. Darcy Ford was actually good. Darcy Ford had a few centre bound stoppages and clearances and good hit outs to his mids. Darcy Ford was really good.
Yeah.
And I love the big O getting around him.
Well, he's the winner of the whole grand final.
Yeah. How good was he? How good was his energy and his effort and his genuine love and excitement for his teammates?
Incredible.
A lot of jumping. He's a big jumper.
Yeah.
That's what I learned.
But just even saying look, let's be honest. If he was fit, he'd be playing. But the fact he said, mate, Darcy's fort has been so good, who knows if I would have been picked.
Yeah.
And you're like, that is a pretty mature, not even
answer.
mature. Like, I don't know how many people would speak like that.
Yeah.
Like, he was incredible.
I mean, it begs a discussion. People say all the time, should he get a medal? I think the clubs should. And this is only brought up because Sydney Stack posted his ring, his premiership ring.
Oh, okay.
But everyone's like, hey, like, why are you posting that? But I think Richmond organised something for the whole club.
Yeah.
It raises the question, should you, if you play maybe in the final series, get a premiership medal?
I think it's just so obvious that you do. Premier League, you have to make 5 appearances throughout the year.
And what do you get?
You get a medal.
Do you?
Yeah, if you win.
Just 5 appearances?
5.
How many games are there? Like
38?
38. 80. 38. I like that. I think that has to be something.
You contribute. And
Yeah.
someone like him absolutely contributes.
So we know that everyone in the NBA gets a ring.
Yep.
NFL will be the same.
Yeah, totally.
So if
I think there's a criteria, like you have to have, played a little bit or,
I think we're saying you have to do some kind of minimum requirement to get you can't just be a ham on a list. I played VFL all year, mate. Please give it to me.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, ask the question, sure.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
They have to get something.
Yeah.
And it's only right. So, and even this week off before the grand final, we're gonna move that week off.
Oh.
Move it to the week before the grand final. Do all the parade and the celebrating the media, or not celebrating the media before the grand final, and give them a week in between so players can get back into the game.
100%.
Because he might have played Big O. 2 weeks.
No.
You never know.
Really?
I don't know. Who knows?
Callum Mills might have.
Well, he'd be filthy. Callum Mills.
Yeah.
We'll talk about them soon, but he'd probably be a filthy captain. I saw him at halftime giving a speech to the boys.
Yeah. Just,
I was like, hey, Callum, with all due respect, not playing.
yeah.
So Luke Parker said, I shoot him off. Sorry, not playing.
Yeah.
Not playing. I saw him, I was like, okay, that's panic stations.
Yeah.
When your captain who's not playing is down and the whole Brisbane boys bringing in here.
Well, only when he just doesn't strike me as that inspirational. Like, say, for example, if Paddy Cripps missed out on a grand final because of the exact same scenario, I'm sure you'd be okay with him having a speech.
Yeah, I would be. Yeah.
Different. I feel like it's different. I don't know.
I'm with you. And then this, our boy, beautiful hair, Prince Charming, Will Ashcroft, the second youngest Norm Smith. I think the youngest Norm Smith when it was being called the Norm Smith.
Okay.
In history.
Sure. But whatever it was before the Norm.
Before, yes. This is the youngest Norm Smith in history. 20 years old, 30 touches in a goal. He is a stud.
Yeah.
And we thought he was brilliant. He was bubbling away for this performance, wasn't he? We called it maybe 2 weeks ago, saying this guy is an absolute star. He absolutely dominated. Set out last year with a knee, comes back this season and makes history. And I don't want to bring this back to Essendon.
But I will.
Will Ashcroft's parents made love. Will was born. He went to preschool, primary school, high school. He got his license, drafted the Lions, debuted, did an ACL, sat out a year with an ACL, won a final, won a grand final, won a Norm Smith, all before Essendon won a final.
Ew.
That's grim for Bombers fans.
Ew.
You can always draw it back somehow. So people don't really... Sometimes it's hard to picture like what it means. Like Will Ashcroft is young. How young is he? It's good to draw it back to Essendon's last final win.
It's always good to do that.
It makes it easier for everyone to understand, I think, around the league.
Yeah, it's very much, when you're in year 10, you're learning maths and it's apples and bananas for algebra.
Yeah.
It's just a really good litmus test.
True.
It's a way of understanding.
Until they put condoms on the bananas and say this is how you have sex.
Yeah.
Do you remember the school bus, the sex school bus comes around?
And I think that was very much, contributing to your upbringing, wherever you went to school.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound normal.
In Adelaide, the bus used to come. And they'd be like, hey, this is sex ed now. Actually, now I think about it, just a van with a random guy.
And then one person would have to get on for a private tuition, or how did this work?
Well, we had the sex education bus. They'd come around.
You've got to say more than just the sex ed bus.
Do you know that?
Nope.
Oh, surely everyone's been through this. So there used to be a sex ed bus that would come to schools and you'd all get in the bus and they'd be like, oh, hey guys, like you're getting to an age now. Seems very Adelaide and weird type of areas, but it'd be like, I'm sure I'm not the only weirdo that's done this. A bus would come and say, okay, you're getting to an age, middle school, high school, of saying, hey, like you guys might start interacting with each other just so you're having safe like stuff. This is how it happens. And like a giraffe would be there and you'd, I don't know if it was like a hand puppet. It'd be like, I'm a giraffe. I'm about to make love. And they put like a condom on a banana and be like, no, I've done the safe way. I can. This is so fucked now I'm thinking about it.
And
Maybe
it was all on a bus.
It was all on a bus. A big bus. Like a big booze bus from the cops, but not the cops, obviously. It happened, mate, in Adelaide. It was a lot.
Yeah, right.
For ages there, I was having sacks of bananas and condoms on them.
We did, I'll protect the innocent, the teacher's name, but he was, I don't understand why you do this. You don't get the actual PE teacher to teach sex ed at an all-boys school.
No.
He went, righto, boys, condoms come in all sizes.
Oh, yeah.
Extra small, medium, large, and Mr. Beep, his name. And I went, come on.
That's great.
And then he got his BlackBerry out. And yeah.
Keep going.
No, well, BlackBerry, the old BlackBerry.
Yeah, I do.
And they had the little circle thing there. Yeah. It was more performance tips rather than education. I remember.
Yeah, right. I'm sure people are going there. People would know their own first, like, school sex ed. I don't think my parents had the chat with me.
Oh, well, why would you when you've got a giraffe on a bus putting a condom on a banana? I mean, that's the dream.
Yeah, true. Yeah, it makes sense. Now we're off track. Speaking of sex, we speak about how thankful we are for Peter Dacos' sperm.
Sure. Sure.
For Nick and Josh a lot,
Sure.
right? That's a good segue. We should thank Marcus Ashcroft and his swimmers for producing some studs. The Ashcroft family now have 4 premierships and a Norm Smith in their family.
Not bad.
That's a good footy family.
Yeah.
A great football. And there's an absolute weapon of mass destruction coming to the league called Levi Ashcroft. This guy is scary. Apparently the best one of the lot. Better than Will. He's
And
gonna walk to
better
Brisbane.
Name.
Levi Ashcroft's scary.
Like it's a superstar's name.
It is. Apparently he's better than Will. And next he's going to walk to Brisbane through the father and son, which is its own topic.
Yeah.
But on the Brisbane Lions, you guys just, I think we have to now talk about this thing as maybe one of the best premierships won by a team.
Yeah.
So Lions is the one that everyone probably thinks about first, but this thing by the Lions, WhatsApp scandal, Chris Fagan, the racism allegations that have been over the club all year, 0-3 they start. 5 players on their list at one point were out with ACLs. The best ball user, Kitty Coleman. They throw a 35-year-old Dane Zelko back to the back line to cover him, even though he'd been a forward. Logan Morris is eating Maccas before a game. and he gets a game and you have to plug a hole because they have so many injuries. Get their season back on track after the bye to finish 5th. And Carlton's season from the dead against the Giants. Come to the MC and shock us all by coming from behind against the Cats and then beat the shit out of the best team in the comp. And Dane Zorko said that he had an honest chat with the leadership group halfway through the season saying, I don't think that we're going the right direction here. Maybe it's time to start playing the kids. And let's listen to what he said here.
A little secret, at round 12, I think we had the bye. Myself, Joe and Ryan Lester sat down with Harris Andrews and we said, might be time we start playing the kids. We might have to turn to next year. If that's the case, it's been fun. But we come up with a real clear plan that day that we weren't going to go down that path. There was still so much football to go. And every week for the last 14 weeks, we've caught up as a group. We added Josh Dunkley to that fray. Who is another senior figure and has been in these big moments. And we just talk through everything every week. We catch up for coffee. And we really wanted to make a difference and impact this season. We went on that nine-run win streak, which was great. Had a couple of slip-ups, but one thing we knew our best football was certainly going to get the job done. And today was a great example of that.
Huge. So they were done. They even internally, they thought this thing might be dead and buried. Let's turn to the kids. So good on them. Good on all the playing group. Now, obviously, they'll go back to Vegas. Boys, let's turn the clouds off. The clouds need to come off.
I think it could just be a straight up analog job.
Yeah, no phones.
Just writing letters.
Yeah. A few maybe emails if you're trying to touch any electronic devices.
I don't know.
Still too risky. Still too risky. Yeah, send some letters back home, your loved ones. Turn the cloud off. Chris Fagan became the oldest coach to win a premiership after turning, and also the oldest coach or the only coach to win a flag after turning 60.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
I saw his face when he was told that. In the same breath as you're the only coach to have not played at the highest level and win.
And now you're old.
And then, by the way,
And also you're old.
You're old.
Yeah, you're old as shit.
Oh, great. Yeah.
He
Thanks.
did look a bit frail up on the stage. He looked a bit rickety, the big fella.
A little bit sort of.
A little bit, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, he didn't even celebrate when the boys lifted the cup up and they all taking a photo. He was a bit to the side because I think one straight push, Fags might have been done then. It might have been done. But seeing, when the siren went and seeing Chris Fagan in Lee Matthews' arms and him crying.
Was that for you? That was not a connection that I was expecting.
No, that hit me right in the heart.
Yeah.
That got me good. That was just a beautiful moment.
I don't know why I didn't expect to see Lee Matthews on the day. That was really dumb of me.
Yeah.
But then the fact he was there and they were cuddling and
It was
crying.
just beautiful. What a beautiful moment. So that got me really, really good. But the real MVP of the day was Scott Pyle.
Talk to me.
So a lot of people won't know the name Scott Pyle, but you will remember him right now. He was the guy giving out the hats to the Brisbane boys saying, you better shake their fucking hands. Shake the kids' hands. And real serious with the eyeballs as well, saying, boys, I'm deadly serious. You shake that kid's hand. And all the boys were so good. They were, up on stage, shaking hands. A lot of them were thinking about it. You can see them processing. Shake a hand, shake a hand, shake a hand. So they went with the handshake first to get out the way. And then there's always one that says, fuck these kids. Charlie Cameron just snubbed a kid.
Yep.
Always one, though.
Off he went.
Always
left
one
them in their
out of
dust.
there.
It's my grand final. It's what I pay most attention to.
To that, yeah.
It's heartbreaking.
It's big. There's always one kid.
You just know this kid has been drilled into knowing exact routine. It's put the medal on, shake their hand, say well done, then you turn around. They've got everything's so perfectly planned out.
Yeah.
That poor girl.
Poor girl. Even the hat placement, for whoever wins it next year, the hat placement, let's get that right, fellas.
Yeah, don't just get it, whatever.
Yeah. It's like, here's your hat. Shake hands. Every hat was just like, just smoked him in the face.
Lots of concussion awareness for the poor kids.
We had 28 kids up there with a bit of concussion after coming off the stage. You can smoke with a hat. Yeah, but that's adrenaline though.
It'll do funny things to you.
It'll do funny things to you. But the Suns, let's get into the Swans.
No. Let's talk about Gold Coast.
We are later. The Swans, they were unbelievably shitty. Let's not sugarcoat it. They were just shit.
Yeah.
They were terrible. And I don't think they had many winners out there. Yeah. James Rowbottom was one, and that's it. I don't think anyone else did. They had 11 players. I'm just going through all the stats and the game and having to think back. I reckon 11 players had their worst game. Half the team.
And
just didn't turn up.
Those 11 players are some of the best players in the whole competition.
Well, Fluffy didn't even get going.
Oh,
I mean,
Harp
Fluffy
was playing.
Yeah, Fluffy didn't wake up. Nowhere to be seen. They didn't show any fight at all, the Sydney team. And it's not the Sydney team that we knew. Even the first quarter, it felt like they were hanging on for dear life with Brisbane. They went, they got a couple of goals here and there, but it felt like Brisbane was just in control and Sydney were just hanging on. And just,
we saying even in the first quarter?
Yeah, I think so.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see it like that. I felt, yeah.
Well, Brisbane kicked for 4-4 to 3-1. And I feel like, okay, Brisbane, if they get this thing right and straighten up a bit, this thing could have been over a lot sooner.
And can I just say, before we continue with Sydney, they didn't actually straighten up, did they? Still got the 12 behind.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
I know.
They got to figure that out.
No, but
yes.
Fluffy, as you said, was asleep. Heaney, we found out after the game, been playing with a stress fracture in his foot, was taken out of the game, I think, in the third. Mm-hmm. Now, we love Heaney. We love the Swans. Bit sooky. I think, because Lockie Neal had a broken foot as well.
It's true.
Okay, a lot of players are injured, but I feel like I'm just hearing some excuses coming out of Sydney that we haven't heard normally from them. So I'm just worried that they're using excuses given they've lost 4 in a row. Mm-hmm. Let's be honest, boys. You cross that white line, you play fucking football, okay? Logan McDonald. Are we supposed to feel bad for Sydney or not? Because I don't.
No.
I don't. I feel like they don't learn their lesson with injuries or taking a risk of taking players injured. Mm-hmm. So Callum Mills, their captain, gets through a fitness test 100% and is told he can't play. And then Logan Morris doesn't get out of the walk all week and plays. Why are they just every grand final they seem to make a bad call?
That's true. In fairness, though, we were thinking you probably don't play Callum Mills.
We were, yeah.
But we also don't know, how he's looking on the track. He could have been actually fine. Really.
Callum Mills.
Just a little bit underdone.
Well, if Logan McDonald
like,
doesn't walk or doesn't run all week, then maybe someone in the staff goes, hey, horse, don't know if we should be taking McDonald into it.
Yeah.
I thought he hasn't ran all week.
Yeah.
We're going to a grand final. He has to sprint and
He'll
turn.
have to run there.
He'll have to just, data shows and tells us, and we've watched replays, that players normally run out there.
Generally speaking.
Yeah. So maybe we don't take Logan McDonald in. And they take him in and just didn't get going at all. So he was clearly not right. And would you be filthy if you're Mills?
I think you would have to be.
He's not going to come out and say it, but internally you'd be like, okay, I'm filthy with this.
Yeah, of course. Unless he put his hand up to say, I don't think it's wise.
Apparently he didn't. Apparently it was a PR move to say, hey, they both came to a conclusion, but it was definitely Swan saying, no, thank you. Okay. No, thank you. And this stat from Swampy on Twitter, which is unbelievable. John Longmire has had 6 defeats by 60 points as a coach. 3 of them are in grand finals. This is brutal. This next bit is brutal. So they're 1-4 in grand finals. The club as a whole has now lost 10 grand finals in a row. If you want to win a flag, Sydney are the ones who are donating. So if you want to play them in a grand final, you know you're going to win a flag against them. So this is their record in the last 10 grand finals they've been across the NEAFL, the AFL, and AFLX. 2013, they lost to the Brisbane Lions. 2014, lose to Aspley's as NEAFL. 2016, lose to Giants. 2017, lose to Brisbane. 2018, lose to Southport. AFL, 2014, lose to Hawthorn. 16, lose to the Bulldogs. 22, lose to Geelong. 24, lose to the Lions. And AFLX, 2018, lose to the Lions again.
I mean, that one hurts.
That one, the AFLX one does hurt the most.
Yeah.
It does. And now most of these players are just deeply scarred. PTSD from grand finals.
Well, now it's a thing.
Because most of this group has now lost 3 or 4 grand finals in a row. And we thought the heartache of 2022 would be the thing that drives them. They did the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Just came out and just took the pants down and went, just shit everywhere. It's nightmare fuel. Nightmare fuel for this club. They cannot get over that last hurdle. And they're made to sit out. When they were made, I don't know about this anymore, making the team sit out there and watch the celebrations. Do we just say, hey, guys, shake hands and walk off?
Nah.
You'd make them watch it.
I love it. It's brutal.
You will watch them celebrate.
There are sometimes things, and this feels like it goes against everything in my being, but I'm like, it's tradition. Like sucked in, sorry.
To watch them do it?
Yeah, like, why do we have to fix that? The one thing I would change is where they celebrate off the field, because I don't know if you saw Horse's press conference.
Yeah.
And I did think that was a bit unfortunate for him.
It was. If you didn't see it or hear it, I've got it here actually. So Horses obviously lost the grand final, lost his 4th in a row. Then he has to sit in the field for another 40 minutes to watch every player get a medal. Hear Chris Fagan speak. Hear even the niceties of the other opposition team saying, hey, you guys, we look up to you. You're the benchmark. You've been the best team all year. So sorry it didn't go your way. He has to hear all that bullshit and fluff. They don't fucking mean it. Nah. They don't care at all about you. They're happy you lost. And then he gets carried into the presser to do his post-match game. And you think maybe they could pick a room that was a bit further away, wait 5 minutes, but they force him into a presser where he has to listen to this.
We needed more across the board. There's no question about that. We needed more right across the board, and we didn't get it. I haven't spoken to the medical staff yet, so he obviously wasn't moving that well. So
he's looking around, so pissed off, so angry, looking around.
We needed to
cross.
We made a call at half-time.
So angry.
Yeah, absolutely. We went in with, did everything that was required to do. Trying to have 100% pulled up fine. Sorry.
Sorry, what was that? I can't actually hear.
I just can't hear you. Brisbane are fucking celebrating in the room next to us. So that's, again, speaking of nightmare fuel, that's the stuff that'll keep you up at night.
Yeah, no, they could have fixed that. But as far as watching the celebrations goes, I think that stays.
That's up there with
I
the
reckon the event planners could have put some distance in between the presser. So
that's the season done. Well done. Brisbane run the league. It's their league for a year. And it's a win, I think, obviously not for Sydney, but for the other teams, I think personally it's a win for the league in Australia because now Collingwood fans can shut up about being the reigning premiers. That's over.
That's true.
That's old. That's history. If you want to say 2020, I might as well bring up 1995 as a Blues fan.
Can I do 66? Or
you could, yeah. So Collingwood, you have no right saying you're reigning premiers anymore because you're not. You're just like us. Bottom of the chain.
Yep.
Maybe lower.
Could be.
I say. That's a win for all of us.
Yeah.
I'm absolutely stoked with
well
that.
Done. Hey, well done, mate.
Thank you. It feels great.
Good on you.
Thank you. News around the league. Let's have a look what's happening around the Eagles have a coach.
Yes.
Well done, Eagles. Got a coach. Now, we didn't think that it would happen. We didn't think anyone wanted the coach. We heard that Justin Langer was leading the charge, but no. You have found a coach this morning. Andrew McQualter. Mini McQualter takes the job from Richmond. Everyone's leaving Richmond now, and he will put them in the box seat to land Liam Baker and Jack Graham. Good get for them. Rebuild coach. Now, we think sometimes the rebuild coach does all the hard work.
Yep.
And doesn't get the glory. Chris Fagan proved that wrong because he was supposed to be a rebuild coach. It's
true.
The Lions, he's been there for, almost 10 years now?
Yeah.
And there's one flag. I think that we're looking at this thing as Mini McQualter will be the rebuild coach for 2 or 3 years. A lot of shit to crawl through out in Perth. That's a tough rebuild. And West Coast fans, let's be realistic about this thing. It's going to take a little while before you see September action.
Yes.
But you've at least got someone there you've contracted a builder, which is good.
He's also so perfectly, I reckon he's perfect to deal with all that shit. He played in 2 losing grand finals and a drawn grand final. He then had to play 5 games on the Gold Coast. Then he coached 13 games with Richmond. The guy's been through it a little bit.
He went to Melbourne, didn't he, after Richmond, I think. I think he's come from Melbourne.
I don't know if he coached at Melbourne though. He might have been
he went as an assistant. I think he was filthy with not getting the Richmond job.
Yeah.
And they said, hey, do you want to stay in the system? We're going to take Adam Uzase. What'd you say?
What'd you say?
And then he went to Melbourne instead because he didn't want to be under Uze. So he was primed.
Winning record at Richmond too.
Did he?
Well, 7 goals, 7 games.
Yeah.
7 wins, 6 losses.
He is such a footy head. I played with him up the Suns.
For those 5 games.
Yeah, first 5 games. And he was all just like business. There was no playing around with him.
Yeah,
there was no going to the strippers with us boys after a 60-point loss. No, there was the ice baths, team meetings, tactics, strategy. He is a good fit for this team where they are right now. So now they can go out and get Liam Baker, Jack Graham, Harley Reid now has someone who knows the game and sees the game in a different light. Good for the Eagles. Good get.
You happy with it?
I am. I think do I think he's going to be the guy that takes them to a premiership? Who knows? The history says that the rebuild coach, again, does the hard work for 2 or 3 years and then someone takes over when this thing's up and running, like a Stewie Jew and now Dimmer.
Yeah.
Like a Vossi, then Chrissy Fagan.
Yeah.
So that's what I think these things normally become. So we'll see.
Yeah,
hopefully it proves me wrong, but no Justin Langer.
Yeah, disappointing for him. I thought that he could have offered something there.
Yeah, well, the boys were doing some. I saw McGovern doing his off-season program down the park.
Yeah.
And he was in the nets.
Was he
still,
seeing them well?
Still medium pace.
Yeah.
So they thought that maybe Langer was coming. They were getting ready for it. Yeah. I saw Oscar Allen just in the nets as well, just patting a few back.
Yeah.
But no, the Eagles have a coach. So good on them. Hey, did you see the new Crows logo?
Oh.
Ooh.
I'll tell you what they're entitled for. They're entitled.
Don't.
They're entitled for a better logo.
They are.
That shit is so bad.
And we've just been so big. You haven't. I've been big on what's coming out of there. I like what they're doing. I love the forward line. I think they're going to make finals next year.
I see. You don't want to be playing finals with that on you.
That's a vomit fest. If I'm an Adelaide Crow player and I've got, I'm 2025, let's go, the season's up and about, well, I'm feeling good about this thing, and I look down and see that all down myself before the first game.
Yeah.
And then I clean up and I'm like, all right, I'm good to go. I go out for the first quarter and bounce the ball, and look at my opponent, look down at myself, accidentally catch it again.
Yeah.
That's what that logo was.
Yeah. Looked like you designed it on Canva.
It looks like, it looks like they went back to the 90s and found a graphic designer and said, just do this. The wings are clipped on it.
But not the cool 90s.
No, just the bad 90s.
Yeah. It was a bad part of the 90s.
Bad part of the
and they found
90s.
it.
Yeah, I don't know about it. So I think that was leaked. We don't know if it's the real thing, but whatever it is, even if it's remotely like that, yuck.
Yeah.
What they should do. No, I was going to say include the bridge, but I don't want that in there at all.
No, keep that away.
Yeah, no, we don't want that. So, see what the Crows are going to do there. It was interesting to say the least. Also, around the league, streaking of mascots. Peter?
Yeah.
Oh, fucking hell. Got to be careful with this. Do you reckon you Peter people listen to this?
Absolutely not.
Thank fuck. Peter urges the Western Bulldogs to change their name. They released this on the website, promoting breathing impaired dogs. Oh my God, I feel like a fucking idiot reading this. Promoting breathing impaired dogs.
Is this real?
This is real. This is Peter wanting the Bulldogs to change their name. They sent this to the dogs.
Okay.
Promoting breathing impaired dogs breeds normalises their suffering from numerous respiratory ailments. With this in mind, Peter sent a letter to the AFL club Western Bulldogs calling on its president to retire Caesar and Sonny, the team's live Bulldog mascots. English Bulldogs, French Bulldogs, Pugs and other BIBs are deliberately bred to have flat faces and squashed, almost non-existent noses that can result in severe health problems, including, don't know what that word is, syndrome, and a leading cause of death for bulldogs. Hey, Peter, shut the fuck up. What? A bulldog. What do you want the Western Bulldogs to do? You want them to seriously change their name? Surely they've got bigger fish to fry. Actually, they wouldn't do that. Fish.
I'll stop you there.
They wouldn't do that at all. What are you doing? What do you want? What's surely you really think that a bulldog? This is so dumb reading it out.
So from what we're getting from that is that they are okay with dogs being the mascot.
Dogs in general are fine. So I think
But
they
it's
came up with the.
promoting
Oh, they said
crossbreeding.
yes. So Peter requested the Bulldogs change their name to the Western Mutts. And that's insulting to mutts. Now, I've been to Bali, and I think you would classify those dogs on the street as mutts.
Okay.
And how dare they?
Really?
The other one also was Footscray Kelpies.
I don't mind that.
So I think the dogs just aren't going to do that. I think they even responded.
Western Whippets.
No, don't like that.
You don't like that?
No.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I think that they could maybe focus on like using the live mascots potentially.
Getting rid of the...
No, like because they bring the actual dogs to the game
getting rid of them.
and put the Guernsey on them and stuff.
Yeah.
I feel like that's still probably going overboard, but it's probably closer
Yeah.
to being like you're promoting, you know.
I think that Bulldogs also promote fostering and finding new homes for dogs as well.
Right.
So does Peter want them to stop that?
Yeah.
Because it's just a ridiculous thing that came out. I don't know what they're doing, but it's just that won't happen. The doggies, and we're all for. I'm not saying that Peter do a bad thing. We're all for. We love animals. We love the safety and well-being of all animals. But this request for the Western Bulldogs to change their name because you think that it's promoting breathing impaired dogs and normalises their suffering. Hey Peter, dogs everywhere. Go to England. Wait till they step foot in England. Hold on a minute. Hey, I've just been to England. Do you know how many British Bulldogs are here? There's a lot here.
Yeah.
Wake up, Peter. It's 2024. Speaking of Western Mutts, Bailey Smith spoke about leaving the Western Mutts.
Yeah, the Mutts.
Now, he was at a function, a lot of functions going on, a lot of cashies getting around during grand final week. He revealed the real reasons for wanting to part the Western Bulldogs, with his manager saying it's still up in the air where he will land. Geelong. The star midfielder speaking on a panel at EJ Whitten Grand Final Legends, blah, blah, blah. He says, "You never know. I still love the club. That's what people forget. But there's a level of when you outgrow a place or you just need a fresh change for whatever reason. I still love them. They're still my mates. I won't get too deep into it. I feel like I'd be doing myself a disservice for the player I want to become and the person I want to become by staying in the same environment, but we'll see." Smith said he started having a kick with his dad, former footy star. "I could sort of resent all the headlines I've had, all the not so good stuff I've done, all the peer pressure that comes with the way that you have to look, all that sort of shit. But it's also made me learn to value less superficial stuff. The whole AFL play image stuff, and just learn to love the game. I just go for a kick during the week and just learn to love footy at its barest. I kick the footy with my dad, try to fall in love with the game, and it's taken an injury to really, really love myself, love it, and miss it again because it can get clouded in everything that's happened. It's heartbreaking. It is, because there's a lot of love for Bailey," said Darcy. Okay, they joked, rah, rah, rah. And then he said, "And people see all the shit I put on Instagram and all that stuff. That's the one thing that does get me up in the morning, makes me tick, is the game itself and its training. That's my mission in the next 10, 12 years, is to really leave my legacy. That's getting a bit too deep, but to be more football orientated than all the stuff that's been thrown up so far."
Firstly, can I say I'm gutted that this is the one time you've used a printout run sheet?
Yeah, because why?
Because I added a fake quote in.
Oh, what'd you add?
I said, I'm really gutted. That was a really well thought out gag.
Go.
I just added in between all of that. I also have to pay a huge respect to Ollie Gill for my recovery. It's humbling taking pictures of him with fans and being great for me, kicking the balls back to me. He's really a one-of-a-kind human being. Whilst our choppers can't be compared, I appreciate all he does for me, the 23-year-old said.
Yeah, fair enough. I like that. And he said, "I've really struggled with this is actually real now. I really struggled with the attention because first and foremost, I love football and that's what I wanted to be known for."
Yep.
I mean, he's known for his absolutely huge cock at the moment.
He's known for a few things.
That rod is big. So let's see where he goes. I mean, he was at the game and posted a story. Did you see this? With the caption, "I'll be out there one day."
Yep, and he will.
He will be
I'm
out
sure
there.
he will.
He'll be there. And then Ollie Dempsey commented saying, "Next year, brother." So that's sent the rumours flying in overdrive.
That's he's not going to North.
That's another
I'm
one.
ruling it out.
That's another one. So let's see where he lands. Who knows? It could be anywhere. It might not be Geelong. I'm winking for everyone. Let's see where it could be. Another rumour circling around, which people said through to us, and I'm not sure if there's anything in it, but we'll take it at this show. Touk Miller
Okay.
having a meal in Geelong. Now, what is Touk Miller doing in that shithole having a meal? Why would he have a meal in there? Is he going to Geelong? Why is he having rolled at Geelong? Have you had rolled before?
The Vietnamese.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wouldn't drive an hour to get it.
So what was he doing in there? Was he meeting with someone? Did he have a meeting and then feel like rolled after? What was he doing there? Numerous people took photos saying this isn't right. There's no
isn't
appearance.
right.
So just watch this space on Touk Miller.
Okay.
Have a look where rolled is. It close to the ground?
Hang on. Where is the Colton Cannons?
I don't know.
Colton Cannons. He's from Victoria. So,
Yeah, he is. But
So-
why is he doing it in Geelong?
Well, because he's probably from that area.
Google rolled Geelong and see if it's near the Cattery.
Okay. Meow. Rolled. Did you get photos?
Yes.
Okay. Was he outside,
Inside venue.
inside? Did it look like a car park?
No, it looked like more of a mall.
Aha.
Where
so
is it?
It would be the Westfield.
Yep.
So there's a couple of locations, but Westfield, I'll get directions.
See if it's close to that ground. If it is, we're connecting dots here. Took Miller to Geelong.
Okay. What's that place called? GMHBA Stadium.
Is it close?
I mean, it's a 5-minute drive and a 23-minute walk
Well, I'm not saying he's walking. I'm saying he's talking.
on one road. It's one road.
He's so there. Watch this space. We've cracked that. Well done to our fans who are all over it. And another thing that came across our desk, Adam Simpson taking a few beers for a walk at Mount Erica with football boss at Fremantle, Peter Bell. Is there anything in that cross town goes, a rival team? Whoa.
You just go to Malvern for a few drinks.
Yeah. And you see it. So watch this space on that. The AFLW, see this? Tamara Smith The hip and shoulder she got and then got 3 weeks. Mm-hmm. Just crazy. Overturned because the football gods had some kind of common sense, but that decision to give her 3 weeks for that was ridiculous.
It's also really shit when that happens to the AFLW because that's a quarter of your season.
Literally, what is it, 10 games?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't be rubbing someone out for 3 weeks for a hip and shoulder.
Yeah.
Now, the commentary of shades of Jordan Lewis were what got my attention. Not really. No, Jordan Lewis almost left in a body bag. So this was not really shades, same colour shades.
Yeah.
For sure.
Maybe that's what
she meant, but yeah, very different. So thank God that Tamara Smith got off. And trade week starts next Monday and a bunch of new players are trying to find homes. So it seems like a lot of movement this trade period, maybe more than last year. The less names get done the first few days always happens. And the big fish, they take, I mean, Peter won't like us saying that, but the bigger, different word for fish.
Homo species,
Yeah.
Homo species.
Maybe, whatever it is. The bigger fish get done late. So we know that one of the big ones were Liam Baker and Shea Bolton. So Baker, we think now will go to West Coast. Freo are looking like they're handing over maybe 2 first-round picks for Bolton. Barras and Battle have to make their way to the Hawks, which means Frost is going to get squeezed out. Rumours are he's going to Sydney. Rioli to pick 6 for the Suns is most likely. Dustin Martin to the Suns. Watch this space. A lot happening here. Pickett maybe potentially leaving Melbourne. Flowed that early in his exit meeting and does the move that would shock everyone that it's still bubbling away. Track out of Melbourne. Is there any movement on that still? Any possibility this happens?
There's always a possibility. As
If
to
someone
what
came late-
percentage, who knows?
I think what will happen here is someone will put something or numerous teams will put something to the Melbourne and say, think about it.
Yeah.
A big, like a 2-3 first round pick.
just have it.
Just have a think.
Go away with
Sit
it.
on it. Strictly off record. Have a think about this.
Yeah.
Don't let it get out.
We get it, but just
Have a think. Have a think. Contract Stringer. Where does he land? Not happy. Got some undercover figures hanging out with him. Essendon don't want him there. So does he land somewhere else? Sydney was the big one. Tom Lynch out of Richmond. Collingwood Whispers getting stronger. They're becoming like normal
speaking level.
Yeah. Dan Houston. Carlton.
I did go up to him at the party.
He would love that.
Ollie Gill. And I went, I do the show.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, yeah, cool.
Thanks.
And I said, where are you going? He went, well,
You found out?
well.
Yeah. All we know. So navy blue. Harry Perriman to Collingwood. Isaac Cumming. It's not the coming, it's the going. Well, he's coming to Adelaide.
Yeah, it's supposed to, yeah.
He's coming on Adelaide. Lukosius to Port. And last in the news around the league, Jake Waterman's getting paid a shit ton of money to stay at the Eagles. Got a new deal that ties him to the Eagles to the end of 2029. Scrapped his deal that he had in place after having an all-Australian season. The deal will start with him being paid almost $1 million a season and then tapering off towards the back end, but can still get that up to 7 figures with some triggers in his contract, which is huge. Had a great year, but $1 million only got driven up because Geelong came late.
Yeah.
Do Geelong have a shit ton of money we don't know about?
They must.
Do we have a war chest, a hidden war chest at Geelong?
Well,
they've got to.
Is it just because all their players are so old, they just retire and then you've just got this war chest back?
So they're paying
Maybe that's
Cameron, Stengel,
Yeah, but
Stewart.
Hawkins not anymore.
Hawkins not anymore. Dangerfield would be on unders now.
Yeah.
So they must have a shit ton of cash down there to do something. Sam DeConning, watch this space on him. Whispers are Carlton as well. Link up with his brother. Let's do our way too early predictions for 2025.
Okay.
Flag.
Okay. Yeah, good.
Yeah.
I like it. I am going to go... I'm going to go Geelong.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You?
I'm going to go for the flag for next year. Carlton's the obvious one, so I won't say that because that's way too obvious.
Yeah.
I would like them to win it. I think they're every chance, but if I'm being serious, I think... Give me the Giants
Wow.
for the flag next year.
I like it.
I think they're in the window.
Bottom of the ladder.
Saints. Bottom would be Richmond as well.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
genuine rebuild this thing. You?
Yeah. No, yep, that's the obvious choice. Yeah.
They have 6 picks in the first 21 picks.
Yeah. It's a lot.
Watch them fuck that up. Watch them just absolutely. Speaking of rebuild coaches, Adam Uze is that right now.
It's true.
He definitely is. There's going to be someone that comes along. Stephen King didn't get the job as well. Hope they didn't. What did they do to him? Must have done something to him.
Maybe.
Must have done something to him. But hey, guys, that's our episode. That's the grand final done and dusted. The season done and dusted. We're still hanging around for a bit. We're doing another episode for Thursday.
Say it a bit we're not just hanging out for a
No,
bit.
no, we're still got the trade week still to
good
come.
stuff coming.
There's some good trade week still to come. AFLW still going. We'll
Yep.
unpack all the rumours that happened in the off season.
Yep.
A lot still to get through. So we're going to get through to Thursday. Then you and I are going to have a week off.
Are we? Because you got to keep me in the loop here, buddy.
We're having a week off.
Okay, awesome.
So after Thursday's ep this week, we're having a week off. We're going to go refresh. I'm going to have a Gozza day, a little Gozza day, a baby moon.
Okay.
So that's just going to be a refresh. Let's let the
What does
dust
that
settle.
mean? What's that?
Well, apparently when you're pregnant, you have a baby moon.
What does that mean?
You and your partner go and like just have some time to yourselves before the hecticness and craziness of having
Oh,
a
it's
child.
like a honeymoon.
Yeah.
Right, I see.
Yeah.
A baby moon.
A
Right.
baby moon. So a little Gozza day.
We're
We're gonna do that.
just-
Hamilton Island we're going to.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be great. Yeah, I'm going to the Gold Coast this week.
So
Got a 30th and a wedding up there.
Oh,
It's
nice.
been party time for this guy.
So you're getting to 30th this year, are you?
Yeah. So it's big for me. Real
Wow.
big.
Interesting.
Yeah. What are you going to do with your week
Just
off?
making it up to Gold Coast for a 30th, but couldn't get to Collingwood for mine.
No. Busy boy.
What am I doing? I don't know. I think my week off starts tomorrow.
You're going to be hungover tomorrow, aren't you? Mm-hmm. That's great. Been hungover. I feel like you've been hungover for 2 weeks now. Is that
2
true?
weeks? Well, no, my birthday was in the first week of September.
You haven't been right since then.
I think my performances have probably improved.
Yeah.
In a weird way.
I think so.
But I don't know. I'm just fizz for tonight. I think it's going to be
Something.
sensational.
Hey, enjoy tonight. We cannot wait to hear all about it in
Thank you, mate.
our next episode on Thursday. And we will see you guys on Thursday when we talk about some more stuff that's happening around the league.
What are you really gambling with? For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.